Welcome back again. Question number 3. You are given that angle P, it is equals to pi divided by 4, and angle Q, it is equals to 90 degrees. Convert P to degrees. Guys, this is very simple. In your formula sheet, you are given that pi, it is equals to 180 degrees. Simple. Where you see pi, just substitute it by 180 degrees. So angle P is going to be 180 degrees. You divide that by 4. You put this in your calculator and then you're going to find 45 degrees. Simple and straightforward, no? Very easy. Wherever you see pi, just replace pi by 180 degrees and then put it in your calculator. You have the answer there. And then determine the value of cot squared of P plus sine Q. So we have converted the angle P. So what we're going to do here, we're going to substitute everything in degrees. So we're going to say cot squared of angle P is 45 degrees. We have converted that one, plus the sine of angle Q. Angle Q is there, it's 90 degrees. So you put a 90 degrees there. Remember, what is cot? Cot is 1 divided by tangent. You don't have cot on your calculator, but you can have it if you convert or write this as 1 divided by tangent. So it's going to be 1 divided by the tangent of 45 degrees. Don't forget square. Don't forget the square. Plus, you can simplify sine, but let's just write it. The sine of 90 degrees. And then you use your calculator. 1 divided by tan squared of 45 is going to give us 1, plus the sine of 90 degrees is 1, and then this one here is going to give us 2. But you can simply just put the whole thing into your calculator and go straight to the final answer there, 2. Very much important that you remember to write the reciprocal of cot. Cot squared is 1 over tangent, because you cannot put this in your calculator. It's not there. All right, moving along, that was 3.1.1. Then 3.2, we are given a diagram and they say determine without the use of a calculator the value of each of the following. The length of QT. Okay, what is QT? QT is this one here. That's what we have. So we have this side and then we have this one. So we have two sides of a right angle triangle. We can see it's a right angle triangle. So we're just going to use the theorem of Pythagoras. Theorem of Pythagoras says r squared, it is equals to x squared plus y squared. What is r? R is your hypotenuse. It's OQ. So I'm just going to put the square root of 5 there. Squared, it is equals to x. X is this one here. You're going to put 1 squared plus y squared is the side you're looking for, QT. Let's just put it as QT squared. Then the square root of 5 squared is going to give us 5 equals to 1 plus QT squared. Take 1 to this side, you're going to have 5 minus 1, it is equals to QT squared. And you're going to have 4, it is equals to QT squared. Take the square root on both sides. You will find that QT, it is equals to, say, plus or minus 2. But when you look at the diagram, your QT is on the positive side of the graph. So I'm only going to consider the positive value here. So the value of our 2 is going, of QT is going to be positive 2. So I'm just going to put it there. Then the next question, 3.2.2, determine the cosine of 58 degrees squared. This is 58 degrees squared. They don't necessarily mean that put this in a calculator and give us the decimal value. You have a right angle triangle here. We are going to apply SOHCAHTOA here. You're going to have SOHCAH, and then you're going to have that. So you're going to go to cos. What is cos? Cos is adjacent over hypotenuse. When you look at from this angle, where if the perspective of your angle is 58 degrees, What is the adjacent side? This is your adjacent side. And what is your hypotenuse? This is your hypotenuse side. So you're going to say the cosine of 58 degrees. You can just say this is going to be the adjacent side divided by the hypotenuse side squared. So you're going to substitute. What is your adjacent side? It's 2. What is your hypotenuse side? Is the square root of 5, and then you square. Then you can use your calculator, but they said without a calculator. 2 squared is going to give us 4 divided by the square root of 5 squared is going to give us 5, and that is our answer there. So cos of 58 squared is going to give us 4 divided by 5. Now 3.2.3, they say the sine of 32 plus 29 divided by 90 pi. Okay, do not panic when you see this one, but let's solve this one out. When we look at our diagram, we don't have the angle 32, but we can find it. Remember, this is a right angle triangle. Sum of interior angles of a triangle. If you have 90 and you have 58, you subtract them from 180 degrees, you will find that this angle here, this is what they're talking about. That's your 32 degrees. We found this angle by simply subtracting this one and this one from 180 degrees. So basically we said 180 degrees minus 58 plus 90 degrees, and then it gave us 32 degrees. So that's where they got the 32 degrees from. So now let's see. They say sine. What is sine? Sine is opposite over hypotenuse. So in this case, the angle of perspective, it is changing. We are no longer going to use 58 or going to use 32. Opposite over hypotenuse, this becomes your opposite side and this becomes your hypotenuse. So the sine of 32, you're going to say, let's just write it as opposite divided by the hypotenuse side plus, now what is this one here? Let's sort this one out. Remember, what is pi? Pi equals to 180 degrees. So wherever you see pi, just replace it by 180 degrees. Then you're going to get the correct angle. So you're going to have 29 divided by 90, multiply that by 180 degrees. Put this in the calculator alone. Okay, let's substitute here. Our opposite side is 2 divided by the hypotenuse, the square root of 5. We're done with this one. Plus, what is the angle we are dealing with here? 29 divided by 90 degrees multiplied by pi. When you put this alone in a calculator, it is going to give us an angle of 58 degrees. You just converted this one. You just convert what's inside just by replacing pi by 180 degrees, and then that's what you're going to find. So you have 2 divided by the square root of 5. So you have 2 divided by the square root of 5 plus, what is the sine of 58? Opposite over hypotenuse. Your angle is now changing again. You go back to your diagram. What is your opposite? The perspective. The angle that you're looking at is 58. So your opposite side is 1 and your hypotenuse is the square root of 5. So you're going to have 1 over the square root of 5. That is your hypotenuse. The denominators are the same. So I'll just have 2 plus 1 divided by the square root of 5. This is going to simply be 3 divided by the square root of 5. And that is your final answer. You did not use a calculator here. When you use the calculator here, your calculator is going to simplify this and write it as 3 root 5 divided by 5. And that's how we are going to see that you use the calculator. So just leave it as it is here. All right. Moving along to 3.3. 3.3. They say solve for t. We're looking for the value of t. All right, now let's simplify. We're given the cosine of 60 degrees plus 2 sine t equals to 0, where t is between, it's an element of 90 degrees and 270 degrees. Okay, let's establish some background information here. We've got 0 degrees here, we've got 90, we've got 180, and then you've got 270 degrees. So basically they say that the value of t is here. All right, now let's see how do we deal with that one. All right, no problem. So what is the cosine of 60 degrees? You put it in your calculator, it's going to give you 1 over 2 plus 2 multiplied by the sine of t. This is equals to 0. Then you transpose 2 multiplied by the sine of angle t. This is going to be equal to negative half. And then you need to get rid of this 2 here by dividing by 2 on both sides. Also the sides you're going to divide by 2. 2 and 2, they divide to 1. Then you have the sine of angle t equals to, put this in your calculator, put this one inside the bracket, say negative 1 over 2 divided by 2 is going to give us negative 1 over 4. All right, now sine is negative. Where do we find sine to be negative? We find sine to be negative here and here. All right, no problem. So when you're solving for the value of x, our focus on quadrant, it's going to be this one where sine is negative. Remember, that's incorrect. It actually comes here. A, S, T, C. Here all of them are positive. Here sine is positive, but here tangent is positive, so that means sine is negative. And according to our information here, sine is positive, sine is negative here. So we're going to look for our reference angle. Our reference angle, we're going to say the arc sine of 1 divided by 4. Then our ref, okay, yes, our reference angle is going to be 14,48. Okay, the information I was talking about. Why was I talking about sine being negative and positive? Because of in the third quadrant, we have a reduction formula of 180 degrees plus theta. So that's where we're going to find our actual angle there. So therefore, T, it is going to be equal to 180 degrees plus the reference angle 14,48, which means that angle T is going to be 194,48. Yes, 194,48 degrees. That is your angle right there. And that brings us to the end of question number 3. Let's see what we can do with question number 4.